how are y'all feeling after the final night of Golden Isles Speedway, Lucas Oil Series, RTJ, getting the win, using the door to do it?
I
Hey,
mean,
look good for where I was at.
oh man, it's RTJ's my boy. Now I might
let's
be
preface
a fan.
this
All
with
right?
Jesse is a huge RTJ fan.
I'm kind of a fan a little bit. I got to be honest. Maybe we was a little rough tonight. I don't know. On the flip side, did what he had to do. Hey, he parked in victory lane, but it definitely came with some controversy, and I think rightfully so. If you're sitting in Marlar's shoes, you're sitting in Davenport's shoes, you're pissed. Am I right? Like, if you're their crew, you're pissed at RTJ.
Well, we can verify that Davenport was in fact pissed just by the way that he.
we didn't walks up to the podium and gives him a little elbow.
Did everybody see that? They're showing it. They've done finished the interviews. We thought Davenport wasn't going to go up there for the podium picture. Y'all are like, oh, he's not going. Well, then he comes, he has to go up there for the picture, and he gets up there and he shoots a little elbow over to RTJ, and I don't think it was exactly a friendly one.
No.
I don't think he looked at him and laughed. You know what I'm saying? I think he kind of was like, hey, I got you, guy.
Well, he see it, maybe Ricky threw him an elbow, so he gave him one back on the stage.
I don't think he thinks they're even.
That's not equal there for sure.
Golly. All right, let's debate. Let's
debate.
Where do you guys stand on what Ricky did to win the race?
It's racing in the rubber, Johnny. If you're going to pass somebody, that's how you got to do it unless they mess up, right? I mean, if I'm Davenport, I'm mad. If I'm RTJ, I'm pleading my case.
Or just counting your money, however you want to.
Yeah, I'm just saying, hey, you've done the same thing, and probably everybody would have, I mean, you get in the way it was 1 and 2, you could get if you hit 1 and 2 just right around the top, you could get a good run off of 2 down the back straightaway, and then you can, if you get a good enough one and you're there, you can get your wheel ahead of the other guy's wheel by going in a little bit harder. When you get in a rubber down racetrack situation, you don't really have that opportunity very often. At many places, at many times. Once the track starts getting latched, you got to get in line. But for that place there was a little bit of a shelf to lean on up top, a 1 and 2, just 1 and 2, not 3 and 4. And so they rode that and got him a good launch there off down the back straightaway. And honestly, if it's me, I'm doing the same thing. Especially,
$25,000 on the line,
and also including the amount of Lucas Oil wins that I have. I'm definitely doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But so. I just say it also, but if I'm sitting there leading and I get done like that, I'm gonna be pretty upset. I'm gonna throw hats in victory lane. Believe that,
and an elbow in victory lane. Jesse,
golly,
Jesse's torn. He can't.
I'm torn, man. Like I'm with Joseph. Here's the thing. Ricky had a run. Like he was there. Like did he kind of go ahead and roll it on in there? Like yes, here's what I think. If you don't like Ricky going into this deal, you really don't like him now.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Davenport, you're really mad at Ricky. If you're a Davenport fan, you're really mad at Ricky. But at the end of the day, like they were racing in rubber. Ultimately, that was for the win. Very possibly that doesn't happen. No, he doesn't win the race.
Mm-hmm.
But golly, it did look bad. Like watching it on flow.
Did you go back and watch it?
But I did, and like I said, he was there. Like Joe said, you can get that run. There were some times there where you can get a really good run off of 2. Ricky did it, drove up there to him, and honestly, I think Ricky's right front might have been passed.
Right. It has to be.
He hit him with his right rear.
Yeah.
I mean, it was right rear to left
or
front.
Else you wreck.
Yeah.
Right.
It was right rear to left front. It wasn't like it wasn't like he just doored him. He was there.
I agree.
Did he go in there really hard to get there? Yes.
Yeah.
But
he wasn't going to miss the corner. He wasn't going to miss the corner.
Yeah, he'd have made the corner without hitting him. Yeah.
So it's just racing, man. I'm telling you, if anybody does this stuff, has been in that situation on both sides. Tonight it was just Ricky and JD on that side. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, it all comes and goes. So.
Well, that leads me to my next thought here is Davenport. I may not be quoting him correctly here. I was writing this pretty quickly. But he says when they interviewed him in the afterward there, he said he took the left side off and knocked us up the track. We know how the 20 RT wants to race. I'm going to try to be professional as professional as possible, but it could get exciting on down the road. So it looks to me like from hearing that, seeing everything in victory lane, that there's a little bit of a grudge going forward. Do you think, I think, Joseph, you've kind of said that it was justified given the situation, right? If you're racing for 25 grand, racing for the win, it's just probably most drivers are going to take that, do what RTJ did, right?
It's just sometimes. I mean, I think Ricky, the way things had transpired before that, he kind of got fired up a little bit racing with Marlar and then falling back. And I think he just was kind of fired up.
Right.
Just Davenport happened to be the guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So my question is Davenport justified in, hey, I owe you one, and, storing it in the back of his mind. And I feel like we're down to it, and he's going to race him a little different possibly now.
I mean, absolutely. That next time, these guys are pros. Davenport ain't going to wreck himself trying to take out Ricky Thornton. You know what I mean? But whenever that situation comes where he can get his front end ahead of Ricky's and use the side of his car to get there, you'll probably see it happen. You know what I mean? And then nobody, hey man, it's all good. Let's go racing,
I tell you what, the track was like perfect. If it's gonna rubber or lock down like it did, at least one corner was good enough where you could do something. Up until really late, where it was perfect in that it's locked down, so everybody had to be around the bottom. But in 1 and 2, if you hit it right, you could get that run like RTJ did, and be going 10 mile an hour faster than the guy ahead of you getting to 3. So it set up this perfect situation of RTJ could get this run, but then what do you do with it when you get to 3? Well, we saw what he did with it.
I mean, he did it a couple times where you let off, get and tuck back in line. But that time I felt like he thought he had a good enough run. He could beat him there, and he did beat him there. And would have made the corner even if Davenport wasn't there, but Davenport was there, and contact.
All in all, though, it was a interesting feature. Like we said earlier, like I know we were all watching, like, oh, this is going to be a snoozer, and then hey, luckily it wasn't. There was definitely some excitement in a not so exciting track conditions. But hey, hats off to the track for getting the show in a timely manner to make sure that we had a race to watch tonight with the super late models.
No doubt. Mm-hmm. And it did create an interesting situation. First dramatic moment, at least that high profile of a dramatic moment of Speed Weeks.